Okay, so this is picking up from part 1. This is now part 2 of a random Vanguard High School story. Okay, so probably my junior year in high school. Me and a few friends of mine had some very twisted thoughts, like I don't already have twisted thoughts as I am right now. But in Vanguard High School, what we used to do when we sat right next to each other in like 2 or 3 different classes, we would purposefully draw up schematics in our notebooks of how to create bombs and shit out of things that we would find in the school. It would be like a MacGyver. How can you turn that trash can into the most destructive weapon you can think of? And a cop just fucking saw me holding this at my fucking... Oh, okay, he kept going straight. Oh my fucking god, that scared the crap out of me. I should probably hold this down here right now. Because I'm about to drive through downtown Ocala. I'll just show you the entrance to downtown Ocala real quick before I throw this down in my lap. Okay, there's cars over there, so I should put this down here now. Anyway, so me and my friends, most destructive weapon you can come up with using the items that are presented to you in the classroom. Trash cans, TVs, computers, whatever. And so, you know, we would draw these things, and then afterwards we would throw them away so they wouldn't stay in our fucking notebooks. So I don't have any of them anymore. But, you know, and obviously if you threw a brick of C4 into a trash can, it would blow some shit up, but that's not what we were doing. Anyway, so at the time, we didn't have DSL. We had, I was thinking about an old AOL dial-up internet connection that, if you knew AOL, you know that there's a way that you can program AOL so that it will dial whatever number that you want to dial, so that, you know, it'll try to connect to the internet. It'll, you know, the old AOL dial-up noise. And but if you set it up to dial silently in the background so that it would dial these numbers until it got a connection, it would just continually dial a number and then sit on the line until it either got a connection or whoever was on the other end hung up. So, you know, we had just previously that week or so, we had a bomb drill where if you know, at Vanguard High School, they would evacuate the entire school to the soccer field that's alongside the school, and every 10 or so yards there's cones along the field just to mark it out. And my idea was use the AOL dial-up at your house on an automated setting so that at like noon it would call the school, and then you would have it also set up so that it would play an automated message of a bomb threat. And then everybody would be evacuated to the yard, to the soccer field, as a bomb threat would. The whole school's evacuated to the soccer field. And then the bombs aren't placed in the school, the bombs are placed on the soccer field, so you could blame the entire death of the school faculty on the school themselves for not scanning the field first. So I went through this whole spiel telling my friend this idea that just randomly fucking popped into my mind, and genius me wasn't paying attention to the people that were sitting next to me when I was telling him this. Me and my friend have this understanding that these bomb devices and shit that we were planning out and drawing schematics for and whatnot are fucking jokes. Okay? It's just sick jokes. A way to pass the time that is humorous to us. The idea of killing people is not something that we revel in. It was just an idea of a thought. That's all it was. And you know, people say you can't get arrested for thought crimes, but you can, because I did. Okay, so this person that overheard me talking went up to the teacher. The teacher was like, oh shit. They called the dean. The dean, in my next class, called me to his office. Actually, they had a police officer escort me from my next class to the police office room where they searched all of my shit. And then, I at this point still had no idea what was going on, because I didn't think of that person that overheard me talking. I was like, okay, why am I being escorted by police officers? What's going on now? Because they didn't want to tell me anything. They didn't want to alert me. They didn't, thinking that I had something already planned, they didn't want me to trigger the device. So, they had the dean, they had this police officer search all of my stuff, and then escort me to the dean's office. And then the dean started off with, just so you know, the principal is in this building. The vice principal is in this building. I am here, and the key members of faculty have already been evacuated. And, they still haven't told me anything at this point. I'm sitting there like, what the fuck is going on? At this point, there's 3 police officers in the room next to me, watching everything I do. And, so, he goes off to tell me, this person, or actually, no, they didn't even tell me names. They said, someone has alerted us to your plans. And I said, my plans? I don't have any, my plan was to go to my next class. You got to be a little bit more elaborate on plans, because you got me. I don't know what you're talking about. So they tell me the whole story about how somebody came to them and told them everything that I've already mentioned. And I was sitting there like, oh shit. So in my backpack that I had sitting next to me, because they searched my stuff and they gave it back to me, in my backpack I had a comic called Johnny the Homicidal Maniac. And in this comic, there is an episode where Johnny has a backpack with a bomb, and he takes the backpack to a cafe and he blows up the cafe, listening to Ode to Joy. And I took out that comic and I said, look at the details that you were presented with, and look at this comic. I was describing the comic, and I added my own AOL thing to it because it was a joke. It was a joke. It was not mentioned. I have no intention whatsoever to kill anyone. So, needless to say, he called my parents. And my parents were not very happy when they were told the only way that I would be allowed back at Vanguard High School is if I went to the centers for a quote-unquote risk evaluation. I went to the centers, and I was suspended from school for 10 days. And in that 10 days, Vanguard High School has since passed a rule where there are no comics allowed at Vanguard High School, specifically Johnny the Homicidal Maniac. So everybody going to Vanguard right now can thank me for not being allowed to read comics. Yay! So, needless to say, Vanguard High School allowed me back. I was pronounced sane by the psychiatrist of which I saw, and nothing was permanently etched into my record. So fuck all. I told you that one would be longer and better. Hello and goodbye.